Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be replacing my dropper lever. The dropper lever that came on this bike uses a barrel adjustment to keep it tight into housing. Well, recently when riding, this been coming loose. I never had a problem until I think maybe cable stretch came into play with this. So I'm going to replace it so I don't have this issue. As you can see, as this barrel adjustment gets loose, the whole housing for the lever moves around and it makes it really hard to drop the post or raise the post. A couple times this have came into play when I was trying to do a technical climb or I was going down a downhill section. So I really need to get this more stable and also a way that I know that it won't come loose when I need it the most. I'm replacing the old lever with a Raceface FX R1 seat post lever. This seat post lever comes in at $39.99 and had really good reviews. So I chose to go with this one. Since I'm not replacing the whole dropper post system, I just need the lever replaced to make it more reliable. In the future, if I really like this system from Raceface, I might go with their seat post. Before I can install the new lever, I have to remove the old one from my handlebars. So I'm going to remove it and then move on to getting this assembly completely off the bike. Every time I work on bikes, I run into hiccups or mess ups. In this case, this is just a little hiccup. I'm trying to remove this cable from this housing. However, I'm not seeing how it's done. So I think I'm just going to cut it because I'm not going to be using this housing again because I'm not really confident in its reliability. I'm having trouble cutting this cable with my clippers. I'm not sure if this is a sign things might go wrong later, but I'm hoping this is just a temporary setback or just having issues now. Now that I have the cable cut, I can pull the seat post and pull the cable through the housing so I can get to the mechanism attached to the dropper post. This way I can remove that cable, getting ready for the install of the new lever. On this dropper post, they use a locking cable end to hold the cable in place and to attach it to the dropper post. This requires 2 Allen wrenches to loosen. I'm having trouble removing the locking cable end. I don't know if it got dirt or sand or something corrosion in there because it's really not turning well. So I'm going to cut the cable, maybe get a little extra tension off that, and so I can get that out. The last cutters couldn't cut through the cable, so I'm trying these cutters. However, these are having issues too. And I'm going to try the ones I did in the beginning of the video, try to cut it from the lever. But this is all starting to come to be hiccup, I think 3 and 4 now. Now that I had the cable finally cut, I was able to remove the locking cable end. Now that I have the cable removed from the dropper post, I'm going to start installing the new lever. The first step I need to do is thread the new cable through the lever so that I can run it down through the housing into the dropper post. The new lever has a locking cable end, so I need to line up the small holes to be able to thread the cable through that hole. And then from there, I will need to thread the cable out through the barrel adjustment, and then through the housing and into the seat post. Now I'm going to attach the lever to the handlebars, and then from there I will be threading the cable through the housing up to the seat post. Now that I have the cable threaded through the cable housing, I have to reuse the locking cable end that you've seen in the earlier part of this video. I have to thread it through that small hole and then tighten it down. However, with the extra cable, it is becoming really hard to get that cable end in place where it will attach to the seat post. I should have paid more attention to the warning signs earlier in this install process, because first it was cutting it, trying to get the cables lined up. Now, I happen to drop the locking cable end into my bike. I need to flip it upside down and hopefully it will come out and not get stuck somewhere. Without it, I cannot install the seat post. Let's see how this goes. Luckily, I was able to get the locking cable end out of my bike. However, earlier I removed some of the excess cable by cutting it down. By cutting it down with the crappy cutters, I frayed the cable, and now the cable will not feed through the locking cable end. And it's now too short, so I need to order a new cable before I can even finish this install. Now that the cable came in, I can continue this install. But while I was waiting for the cable to come in, I bought brand new Craftsman cutters. These cutters are what I should have picked up before trying to install the new lever. You can see the old ones are rusty and probably really not very sharp. These new ones cut right through cables. I tried it on the old piece of cable with no problem. To get to this point, I repeated all the steps I did previously in this video. First, I threaded the new cable through the lever, through the housing, and up through the seat post. And now I threaded the new cable through the locking cable end. And I'm locking that cable down using the 2 Allen wrenches to really tighten down that locking cable end. The final step in this process is adjusting the cable tension using the barrel adjustment on the lever. Installing the new lever isn't really a difficult process. However, I had several things working against me. 1, it was late. 2, I was rushing. And 3, I didn't have the proper tools. If I would have been well rested, proper tools, and took my time, I would have not had to wait an extra week to install this lever. And because I had to wait a week, I missed out a couple of days of riding. That's my fault. I'm no bike mechanic, and I like getting these videos out to you on time, but I have to remember I have to slow down because I make stupid mistakes like dropping the locking nut into the bike and trying to get it out. But with all that said, I really hope you enjoyed the video and watched me mess up a simple install when it should have been really quick. And if you did like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell notification. So when I do release a new video, you can get notifications. And as always, keep finding MTB Zen.